Okay, I'll sit here, you sit there.
Looks like I got it.
Did you start it?
Yeah, I pushed the button.
Okay, good.
It's streaming.
Streaming, and that's your sound pickup. And that's, you don't really need to change these.
I'm not going to touch it.
Okay, and you'll get it, you see this blinking red light?
Low.
Ignore that. We get that and we don't have low bandwidth.
Okay.
It works. Now
has Rabbi learned where to put her microphone?
yes. Whether she does it or not, that's another thing. Now, the thing is, when you move that, you move it smoothly. Don't jerk it.
Okay.
And you can zoom. Again, it's better to touch that lever just slightly and zoom slow.
Okay.
It's a better visual effect to people watching.
Okay.
And that's it.
So, Jay over there, has he been a member for a long time?
Yeah. This gentleman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his last name?
I'm not sure. He comes here Friday night often. Most Friday nights he's here.
Yeah, I've seen him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll fix that.
Yeah. I'll just sit here and if you have any issue comes up, I'll try to fix it. But the other thing is, once you start that, never stop it until the program's over.
Okay.
If you stop it, you're going to have to, you can't get back in.
Tells me I'm not going to stop it.
Never stop it. Robert learned that the hard way.
Okay. Well, he showed me everything at once.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking at his notes and I thought, it's beyond my ken.
Well,
but the way you just did it, I got it.
Well, it's all written out, but if I did it and you watched, it's not the same as you doing it.
Absolutely.
That's why I switched seats with you and said, okay, here's the sequence. And it's all in those pages up there. No. No, we're not having live services next Friday here. No, the temple is going to be closed next Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. And it'll be on Zoom. The rabbi will do it on Zoom. Because
I heard my name.
there won't be anybody here.
I heard my name.
We're talking about next Friday when services are going to be over Zoom and the temple will be closed.
So we're going to resume it.
We're going to zoom it.
Yeah. We're live now and you're late.
I'm here. I did. It is exactly 5:30.
It's 5:31.
I was introducing new members.
2, 5, 7,
Who's going to do the candles?
8.
It should be Denise and Michelle, but I don't see either one.
11, 12.
So
We've got a minion.
that's okay.
13.
If not, you can count Torah scrolls and all kinds of things.
Sir, you're well.
That's my telephone buddy.
Howard?
I got something to tell you.
You usually do.
Well,
Mark?
You're going out over the internet now.
Mark, can you put the light on there? In the middle there?
I wonder if it... Oh, good. That's what I heard. Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah.
It's fixed.
Yeah. They're living in Vegas right now. They have a baseball tournament. So she's not here. Yeah. He'll be 14, no, 14. He'll be 14. No, he's in 8th grade. Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad.
I'm in front.
That's all I have to say.
And if you would open your prayer books and turn to page 3. So I need both of you guys to come up here. Right? Page 3. So pick a blessing and then go on to the Shabbat. So page 3 and then page 2. Okay.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us, as their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light. So may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
So you may have noticed this tallis, and I've never mentioned it specifically, but for millennia, men have worn tallises. And women have said, wait a minute, what about us? And in fact, women have been kicked out of places and all kinds of stuff for wearing a tallis. If you were to look closely, there are 4 sections of the tallis, and you can see the ties that are on here as well, which are the required part. And the 4 of these corners are there for a very, very important reason, which would be, take a guess. Interesting idea, possibly. There's 2 over here, and there's 2 over here. It's not exactly the 4, I mean, it is 4 corners, but it goes a little further than that. And the teaching is that just as the men were wearing a talit, so too can women do it. There are 3 men, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who supposedly wore a talit. And the women began to wear these talitot, which is plural, to say, we are honoring Sarah, Rebecca, Leah, and Rachel. And so these corners down here represent, each one represents a different one of the 4 mothers. And so that's why you may have noticed this, you may not. But this is, these are made in Israel, and the women go to the wall to pray, and so they oftentimes will try to wear talis like this. It doesn't always work in Israel because there are certain factions that try to kick them out. However, it's still very, 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 very important that all of us, male or female, participate in these rituals. Okay? So it's Sarah, Rebecca, Leah, and Rachel, 2 on each side. And for the men, of course, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay? We're going to continue now with page 10 and page 11. 16. And we join together in the reading. Sing praise to Adonai with the lyre and melodious song, with trumpets and the blast of the horn. Raise a shout before Adonai the ruler. Let the sea and all within it thunder, the world and its inhabitants. Let the rivers clap their hands, the mountains sing joyously together at the presence of Adonai. For God is coming to rule the earth. God will rule the world justly and its peoples with equity. Turn please to page 20 for the Chadodi. Page 24, Shalom Aleichem. Yitkadal, Yitkadal, Shemei Rabbah, page 26. Yalmad Yivrach, Yerutei, V'yamlich Malchutei, V'chayechon Uv'yomechon, Uv'chayei D'chol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala, Ba'agala, Uv'yizman Kariv. Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach, Le'olam Omehamaya, Yitarach, Yitbarach v'yishtabach, Yitpa'ar v'yitruman v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yithalal, Shemei Kodeshah B'rechu. Le'elam mikol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechata, da'amihira v'yama, v'yemeru, amen. Please rise. Together, blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzivaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv, Baravim. Page 32.
Oh
is God's glorious majesty forever and ever. Please be seated. Page 37. And we join together. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you are tired or you are rested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai your God. Page 39, at the top together. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. Page 42. We continue on page 46. Please rise. Please be seated. On page 54 in the middle and then in the bottom, we join together. You set aside the seventh day for your name, the pinnacle of creation, and you blessed it above all other days, more sacred than all festival times. So it is written in your Torah, the heaven and the earth were finished in all their array. On the seventh day, God had completed the work that had been done, ceasing then on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. And then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, and ceased from all the creative work that God had chosen to do. Our God and God of our ancestors, be pleased with our rest. Sanctify us with your mitzvot and grant us a share in your Torah. Satisfy us with your goodness and gladden us with your salvation. Purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Adonai, our God, grant as our heritage your holy Shabbat, that Israel, who sanctifies your name, may rest on it. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Page 57. At the bottom of the page together. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'odcha levadcha v'yirah na'avod. Page 59. Abba, when we behold your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and stars that you set in place, what are we humans that you are mindful of us? We mortals that you take note of us. You made us little less than divine, adorned us with glory and majesty. You gave us dominion over your handiwork, laying the world at our feet. How majestic is your name throughout the earth. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha u'lecha na'eh lahodot. We continue on page 60. Continue now with our own silent and personal prayers. Well, you might be thinking that he was an individual that had everything. He got the birthright. He had the blessing. He was married to 2 sisters, had lots of children, and had become successful and well-respected, and he was amassing a huge amount of wealth. What more could he want? Life was good. And so it sort of seemed. Yet, in the darkened silence, in the blackness of his tent deep at night, Jacob thrashed around in his tormented sleep. His dreams, his nightmares gave him no rest. He dreamt of a seemingly innocent and sweet little boy whose smile and song suddenly seemed evil as he donned a sheepskin and lied to his old father. He dreamed that he saw an evil image in the eye of that young boy as he waved a large plate of freshly roasted meat simmering in aromatic gravies all around his ravenous brother, who had not eaten all day because his father was out hunting game for his dad. That young boy, so seemingly innocent, offered to give his brother food in exchange for some tangible and vague promises of the future. He arose morning after morning, exhausted from his efforts to sleep, despondent and miserable. In the bright light of day, the images of night seemed even more real. Jacob no longer had it all. He now knew that underneath all of his successes and all of his prestige and all the outer trappings of his life, under it all, he was the supplanter. And so Jacob returned to face Esau, to face the wrongs that he had done, to live up to the mistakes of his past. Jacob traveled to meet his brother. Just before they were to meet, he camped across the river Jabbok, which as Jacob turned inside out. Jacob was terrified. He should have been too. He was about to confront himself, the baser part of himself. He was about to come face to face with the Jacob hidden deep inside, not the well-liked, respected, honorable businessman, but the supplanter. He turned himself inside out. He exposed his darkest secrets. He exposed his other side, the side we all try to hide, the side we don't want to admit still exists. But Jacob was forced to face that side of himself as he prepared himself to meet Esau. The Torah teaches that Jacob was left alone that night, by himself. He could look deep into himself in total honesty, and he could face up to who he was, both good and bad. That he was human, and he made a lot of mistakes. But those mistakes could be rectified. Jacob wrestled with his very being all night long. Torah says Jacob remained alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the break of dawn. Jacob, like all of us, was a composite of many different types of people. Rabbi Greenberg explained, he was a Jacob who was pious and a Jacob who deceived his father. There was a Jacob who cared passionately about his family, and a Jacob who drove a harsh bargain with a hungry brother. There was a Jacob who dreamed of angels in heaven, and a Jacob who dreamed of sheep and goats. And so Jacob wrestled with the man, with his own understanding of himself, all night long. And as the sun rose, it no longer revealed the supplanter, hiding behind the cloak of a seemingly successful man. The sun rose. The Torah teaches us for him in order that it might heal him. The sun's rays confirmed for Jacob that he was a strong individual. Who was in the inside what he appeared to the rest of the world to be on the outside. The light of day warmed the individual who had learned that all the power and the prestige and the wealth in the world could not make him the man he wanted to be. To be a man who could be warmed by the sun and comforted by the night, Jacob needed to live his values and his faith and not just espouse them. Wrestling with himself, looking deeply into his own heart, turning himself inside out, learning who he really was and what he stood for, who he wanted to be, and how he would get there. It was a very painful process, and he rose from it limping, but he rose to be healed by the sun. And so Esau runs out to meet Jacob. The division caused by the supplanter's actions had been healed, and the brothers were reunited. Jacob's name was changed. He was no longer the supplanter. He had grown into Yisrael. Yisra, one who wrestles with. El, one who wrestles with God. One who wrestles honestly with God and with oneself. Rashi taught, "It shall no longer be said that blessings come to you through supplanting and subtlety, but rather through noble conduct in an open manner." And so we are taught, so may it be with each and every one of us. Kei Hiratsa, may this be God's will. We continue on page 253. Sherry? Sherry? Page 253. In a second. Bad timing, I'm sorry. Okay, page 253, we are going to continue with the Mishaberach. The Mishaberach is our prayer for healing, our prayer for those we love who are in need of healing, healing of body, healing of soul, and healing of mind. Is there anybody who is saying the Mishaberach for someone special? This part of the table or room? No? Over here? Anybody?
For Sarah.
Anybody else down here?
Judy Foster.
Anybody else? Up there.
Lynn's sister Karen and Lynn's aunt Sadell.
Anybody that I missed?
Barbara Raven from Las Vegas.
I'm sorry, what?
Barbara Raven from Las Vegas.
Okay, oh, over there, thank you. And also we had Alan Beneshu, whom I hope I pronounced it correctly. We join together in singing Mishaberach and asking God to grant healing to all those in need of healing.
Oh
Together. O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit. Amen. Together, pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you prosper. O Heavenly One, protector and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love and spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. We continue now on page 282. 282, please rise. And I need someone to open the book. So somebody has to come down. Open the ark. Somebody come down. Come on up. As we take these moments and remember those that we've loved and lost, we think of how special they were and how much they brought into our lives. And we thank God for having them in our lives for these periods of time. Is there anybody saying Kaddish for someone special this evening? Page 293. Remember our people who suffered and died so that we could be free and secure. May their memory be more than a distant shadow, for their dreams left unfilled and lives taken too soon, we remember. Remember our brothers and sisters whose sacrifice kept the dream of democracy and justice alive. May their courage be our inspiration and strength. For life cut short and vision unrealized, we remember. Remember the fallen of our armed services, the victims of terror and tragedy. May the darkness of their loss not obscure the light of peace. They were in love with our land and in love with life. Together, for the agony, the tears, the mothers and the fathers, for the children who were and for the children yet to be, we remember. We remember those who died this season for the past year. Marilyn Woods Allen, sister of John Woods, Stanley Oberman, father of Susan Harvey, William Wall, DDS, cousin of Lisa Stone, Ira Scholes, mother of Debbie Steele, Sandra Indez, sister of Arlene Behrman, Ross Zimmerman, Sylvia Falk, mother of Lori Barnum, Ruth Datz, mother of Michael Datz, Sophie Pollock, mother of Sharon Green, Sarah Myers, sister of Barbara Spiro, Natalie Yaffe, wife of Stuart Yaffe, Dr. Gilbert R. Cherrick, uncle of Alan Cherrick, Lawrence Berlin, father of Becky Trieger, Gloria Cohen, mother of Mary Beth Cohen. We also remember those who passed in years prior. Gladys E. Abram, Gussie Altman, William Ensel, Mina Hirschheimer, Harry Cartman, Margot Meyer, Rose C. Morris, Edward Herman Redliff, Fanny C. Reisman, Eli Salzenstein, Nellie Schultz, Samuel Schultz, Betty Segan, Richard Allen Stone, Charles Haskell, Wald, Florence Yaffe, Ruth M. Zeider. Please rise. Yitgadal, Yitkadash, Ne'raba, Yalmad Yivrach, Yeruteh, Yamlich Malchuteh, V'chayeho, V'yomecho, V'chaye, V'chol Beit Yisrael, V'agalah, V'zman Kariv, Imru, Amen. Yehei Shnei Rabba V'vorach, Le'olam Olamei Almaya, Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitraman, V'yitnaseh, V'yithadar, V'yithaleh, V'yithalal, Shnei Kushar, Rehu, La'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata, Tushbechata V'dechamata, Da'amiran V'alma V'imru, Amen. Yehei Shlomo Rabba Min Shemaya V'chayim, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael V'imru, Amen. Osei Shalom Ben Ramav, Uya Aseh Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael V'imru, Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to all the world. And let us all say, Amen. Please have a seat. I have a couple of announcements. Okay, first, in case you didn't know, Thanksgiving is coming. And what we have decided to do is we are going to have services Friday night on Zoom. They'll be at 5:30. But they will be on Zoom and the synagogue itself will be closed. Okay? Secondly, I have reserved tickets for 30 individuals in our congregation who would be so inclined. The Sangalon Auditorium is going to be doing Fiddler on the Roof. It's going to be on Thursday, March 24th at 7:30 at night, and they are only doing one show. I have reserved 30 seats, so y'all have to come, and they've given us $10 off each ticket. So, if you would like to come, please let me know, because I'm going to take names as they come. All right, and the seats that are, way further back, you won't like as much, supposedly according to the two people I've talked to all day long. So we are going to be in Loge but we're like kind of behind the orchestra. And they said that the seats go up, so we will have an excellent view. So if you are so inclined and you would like to join us, I encourage you to do that in the short term, because I don't know if there'll be any seats left, because more than half the seats are gone by now. Okay, so let me know if you want to come, if you want to bring a friend, whatever. But we will be offering seats first to members for the next week or so, and then after that to anybody who wants to. Okay? Any other announcements from anybody? Go ahead.
December 3rd, Hanukkah celebration, Hanukkah dinner, Sisterhood sponsoring. If you haven't already received these in the mail, you will tomorrow, hopefully. So we're planning a great service ahead of time, and then afterward dinner and activities for everybody. So please come on the 3rd, RSVP to the office, and we would love to see everybody there. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yes.
Yes.
I have an announcement. We belong to the Greater Springfield Interfaith Association, which is having their Thanksgiving service this Sunday evening online, and you can get the link by going to the Greater Springfield Interfaith Association website.
Yes, and absolutely, they actually invited me to come and be there, but we're going to be driving back, so we can't be there. I was hoping we'd be able to be. And I'm sorry, and I spoke to the guy who's in charge there, and he said he promised he'd have me in there next time.
Yeah,
So, but apparently the stuff that he's doing is terrific.
Yeah, and just as an aside, on top of a wonderful December 3rd event, we will be holding a drawing. There are 5 drawings that will be held.
5 who's?
Drawings. Like for the Century Club. So if you haven't joined the Century Club, you want to be able to do it, because this year we're going to have drawings. And the top thing will be $300 gift certificate to Walters. So get your money in. I think I've counted everybody and they almost all have it.
Any other announcements? Please do make sure to let me know if you want tickets. The last thing that I want to say is that we've had a couple people who missed coming to the Hebrew Marathon and are potentially interested in doing it. So if you are interested, you can either talk to Howard or talk to me, and we will make sure that that happens, assuming there are people who want to come. Okay? And if not, it will just be us. All right. Okay, so we are going to conclude our service with something. We're going to conclude with a song, I think. Yes? Okay. We are going to do that. My book, oh, here it is, 346. There it is.
Yeah.